Hello everyone, and welcome to the vaccine site at the Anaheim Convention Center. I am Mike Lister from the city of Anaheim, and we are going to walk you through step by step what it's like to get a vaccine here, so when it's your turn, you'll know exactly what to expect here at the Anaheim Convention Center. You will enter off Catella Avenue in between West Street and Harbor Boulevard. Your best bet is to approach from the east, headed towards Harbor Boulevard, and stay in the right-hand lane. You'll notice some construction going on to make this area even better, but you want to just stay in your right-hand lane, and that is going to bring you right into the parking entry so you can get to your vaccine appointment here at Anaheim Convention Center. There are times you can also approach just east of Harbor Boulevard, turning left into the site. Now, this lane is not always open to enter. There will be times when traffic will back up. We will have cars all the way back to Harbor Boulevard, and unfortunately at that point we do need to close the left-hand turn lane. But it is a secondary option for you. But if you want to be sure at all times about entering, go ahead and approach coming eastbound in the right-hand lane from Catella. So this is what it looks like to approach coming eastbound on Catella, and we're just going to go right in this entryway here. As you can see, there's a lot of other people coming in for their vaccine appointments, and we'll follow this group of cars. Now, as you can see just ahead of us, you will have staff here guiding people in, directing them which way to go. This is our friendly convention center staff, usually helping people make their way during conventions, but now helping people to make their way to get vaccinated. So we are going to follow this line of cars. We are entering what is known as Car Park 1. You don't necessarily need to remember that, but should you want to know where you parked, it is Car Park 1. And we have a lot of friendly staff that's going to guide us in here. Car Park 1 has 5 different levels. They are known as P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. Now on this particular day, we are being guided up to level P3. That is one of the larger floors for parking here in this structure. And we will follow all of the cars ahead of us. And as we make our way up this ramp, you'll start to see ahead of us a purple wall, and that is for level P2. And we point that out because it's really good to remember the color and the level that you parked on. So P2, which we are passing, happens to be purple. You'll see signs saying remember where you parked with the color of the level, and then of course the letter and number combination as well. We are now approaching level P3. Now just ahead of us you'll see a wall colored a bright orange, and that is the color for P3. And so it's a good idea from the start to start noticing that color, because as a larger floor it can be a little challenging because of course folks are thinking about getting vaccinated. They may not be thinking about where they park necessarily as the top thing on their mind. But good insider pro tip for you, remember those colors and remember those letter number combinations. So in our case here, level P3 orange. And we've got our colleagues waving us on here. We're going to follow this route of traffic here. As you can see, very well organized. We have flaggers here directing us where to go, showing us how easy it is just to get here and park. We've got some folks here that are going to direct us going forward here. Thanks for your help. We're actually going to go beyond here a little bit. You'll also want to remember your row. Right now we are passing row 14. We're approaching row 15, and now we are getting to row 16. Now this does happen to be the furthest back, but we want to show you where to go once you park and get out of your car. Now we're coming up to the end of the row here. where in just a second we'll be able to make out some signs on the wall here, which have been put here to help us get to our vaccine appointment as easily as possible. And so right ahead of us here on the wall, we've got a couple of signs here. And to our left is one that helps us get from our car to where we need to be. So now for the folks who are able-bodied, the best way is to go to our right to the stairs, which are just a little bit to our right and takes us a couple of flights down directly to the vaccine site. Now for people who need a little bit of extra help, you want to look for the wheelchair symbol and go to the right where we have elevators. Now again, as you leave, you'll see everywhere, remember where you parked. Level P3 orange. This will help you tremendously when you're making your way back, trying to get back home, and when you're all done here at the Anaheim Convention Center getting your vaccine. So we will make our way down the stairs, noting where we parked, and again you'll see orange for P3 or whichever color of the floor you're headed down. You'll see signs directing us downward. We're just going to go down a few flights of stairs here. This again, if you are able-bodied, is the quickest and easiest way to get to the vaccine site. And we're just making our way maybe about 20 or 30 yards, and now we see the entry to the vaccine site. Now this is a familiar site for many here in Anaheim. This is the Anaheim Arena, one of the first parts of the Anaheim Convention Center, a iconic site along Catella Avenue. And what we've got here is folks just starting to line up by their appointment time to go in. We do contactless temperature check just to make sure everybody's feeling okay. And then we go ahead and we make our way into the arena and then through to the vaccination site. So here is your entryway into the vaccine site after getting out of the parking structure. Now, depending on the time of day and how things are flowing, you might see signs indicating top of the hour, 15 minutes after the hour, 30 minutes after, or 45 after, and that is based on what time of day and what time your appointment is. So if it were 8:15, you would look for the 15 past the hour sign. Now, other times of day, we might not be using what we refer to as the timelines, and we might just be waving people through. That is definitely the case here today. Things are running very smoothly that we can pretty much just move people right through. And so this is folks making their way into past temperature check and into our first area of our vaccines. So we'll go ahead and kind of work our way in. We'll follow a set of stanchions, and either we'll be directed by the time of our appointment, or we might just be directed right through, as is the case today, as everybody is just flowing through. But as you can see here, we do have indications on the door based on what time you might have an appointment. We've got top of the hour, we've got 15 after, we have our handicap access in the middle as well, and then so forth. Now today, people are just coming right through. And you can see a few signs that say, watch your step. And that is very important because there is a door threshold here. So that's just a reminder for everybody, particularly somebody in a wheelchair, to watch their step coming through over that threshold. Now we're making our way into the Anaheim Arena. So this building actually dates back to the first days of the Anaheim Convention Center. It is about a 8,000 seat arena that here is being used as an initial staging area for folks coming in to get their vaccines. Now, a little bit of history in this building. Elvis Presley played here in 1976. A very early show he did before a long residency in Las Vegas. It has also hosted the Beach Boys, the Doors for rock fans. They actually opened this venue in 1967, along with Jefferson Airplane. We host many sports here. Many decades ago, we had a basketball team called the Anaheim Amigos that played here. So a lot of history in this building, but most folks will only spend a short amount of time here as we just get ready to go through and get to the actual vaccination stations. So as you can see, it's free flowing. We're now getting to an area where, depending on the vaccination that you have indicated on your appointment, we will go in one direction to the left for Johnson & Johnson, a one-shot vaccine, and then to our right, we would go to the clinics for Moderna, a two-shot vaccine that is very common here at the Anaheim Convention Center. So depending on which vaccine we're getting, we will go left or right. We happen to be going down the Moderna line, and then we'll give you a full look at the actual vaccination stations here. So now we are entering what is known as Hall A of the Anaheim Convention Center. And here usually is home to our major conventions here in Anaheim. But of course, during coronavirus, our convention center has been closed to major conventions and is now serving as a vaccine site. So as we go left to right, you can see various stations where folks are actually administering vaccines to those who have appointments here today. It is very spacious. It is a large building that accommodates a lot of people with a lot of open space as well. You may encounter a brief wait as you get to your particular clinic, but generally, somebody's experience will be about 30 to 45 minutes at most, and that includes about 15 minutes of observation, which we will show you as well. Now remember, there's no need to get here more than 30 minutes before your appointment. And don't worry if you're running a few minutes late either, that is not a problem. If you've got an appointment on a given day, you will get your shot. Here is an actual vaccination station. This is where you will wait in a very short line, be greeted by our staff, and then be directed to a particular vaccine station. Now, once you've gotten your vaccine, you will come over to what we refer to as the observation area, and that is where we want everybody to spend 15 minutes or 30 minutes for those who may have had any sort of prior reaction to a vaccine. And we do this as a precaution. We have had very few incidents whatsoever administering vaccines. As we speak today, we are at more than 250,000 vaccines given here in Anaheim, and we have not had a severe reaction on any of those shots. But we do want people to wait 15 minutes. We want to have them sit, make sure they don't feel dizzy, make sure they don't feel any sort of swelling in their throat or any other feelings of being uncomfortable. Now, should they feel uncomfortable, we have staff on site, but not only just our regular staff, we also have paramedics on site. They are from Anaheim as well as many cities from across the county. Now, once you're done with observation, we want to go ahead and make our way back to our car, and we're done for the day. If you're Johnson & Johnson, you are done being vaccinated, as that is a one-shot vaccination. But of course, if it is Moderna, you would be either here for your second shot if you've already received a prior one, or you might be coming back about 4 weeks later for your second shot. But either way, first or second shot, once you're done with observation, whether that's 15 or 30 minutes, you will go ahead and make your way back to your car and you are done here for the day. So we're just going to follow these red stanchions here. And we can see the outdoors just beyond us here. A couple of doors open with a couple directional signs. Exit to car park just to our left. And then from here, we return to our car. Short walk, about 20 to 30 yards just to our left here. This is part of the plaza area of the Anaheim Convention Center. Really beautiful with palm trees and tile. And it's just about 20 to 30 yards down that we will return to our car. So as we make our way back to our car here, we will first pass Car Park 2, and again, that is the parking structure connected to the Anaheim Hilton, right next to the Convention Center parking structure. So you'll see we've got staff on hand to direct you. If you did park in Car Park 2, the entryway is right here, right near this sign that says Hilton Parking Garage. And folks will find their way in there. Now, if you do park there, we only use the bottom floor of Car Park 2 or the Hilton parking structure. We're not using the upper floors, so just remember that if you did park in that structure, you will always be on the ground level. Now, to return to Car Park 1, as it's called, the parking structure with our 5 levels separated by colors, purple, orange, etc. An easy way for the able-bodied is just to come right up this stairwell here. You will find staff members on each floor that will help you get back to where you parked. Again, if you remembered your row, that will be very helpful. And then, of course, you want to take note of the color and the letter number combination of your floor, be it P3, P4, or whichever one you may have parked on. So for anyone who needs a little bit of assistance, we do have a rampway here that is perfect for anybody who needs the help of a wheelchair. And this will get you to and from the elevators in the parking structure. So we happen to be on level P1, pink for level P1. There's a friendly staff member helping people along. But for anybody needing the elevators are right here. Now, this will take you back up to the higher floors of the parking structure, or if you were coming down from the higher levels of the parking structure, this is where you would actually begin to enter to get your vaccine. And so this wraps up a day at the Anaheim Convention Center for a vaccine. So we hope we've given you a good insider tour of what to expect when it's your time to get a vaccine. And when you get that vaccine, thank you. What's happening here at the Anaheim Convention Center is helping us put coronavirus behind us. It's helping us to get back to normal. Every vaccine we administer moves us an inch back to normal. And this is really the brightest time yet in the past 12 months. We have a path forward with the gradual reopening of the Disneyland Resort, Angels baseball. We might actually see fans there this year. And then, of course, we look forward to the return of events here at the Anaheim Convention Center. So first and foremost, we are saving lives and we are stopping the spread of coronavirus with our vaccines here at the Anaheim Convention Center, but we're also inching back to normal here in Anaheim. So with that, you can always find more information at anaheim.net/vaccines, and also check out anaheim.net/coronavirus for the latest on declining cases and the situation with coronavirus right here in Anaheim. Thank you, Anaheim.